Frostpunk 2 is a highly anticipated game that is finally out. It's a city-building survival game developed by 11-bit studios set 30 years after the events of their original game. It takes place in a post-apocalyptic world where players must manage a city during a catastrophic volcanic winter. In Frostpunk 2, you take the role of the city's new leader, known as the Steward. Your primary goal is to ensure the survival and the growth of your city by managing resources of building districts and navigating the conflicting interests of various factions. So you're going to have district building, faction dynamics, resource management, and council hall. Frostpunk 2 has a ton of new features that the original Frostpunk did not have, such as district building. Players can now construct large city districts, each serving specific functions like providing food, energy, and shelter. We have faction dynamics, we have resource management, council hall, expanded social dynamics, and a larger city management. Frostpunk 2 is developed by 11-bit Studios, a Polish game development company known for creating thought-provoking and challenging games, such as This War of Mine and the original Frostpunk. So far, Frostpunk 2 user ratings on Steam have been mostly positive with 77%. Currently, 11-bit Studios, ticker symbol 11C, has had an ever-declining stock, currently sitting at 73 euros per share, which comes out to roughly $81 per share. And despite the game's success so far, in the past week of its success, on the launch, the stock actually remained the same dollar amount per share, and just 3 days later, going significantly down at 50% nearly, which is surprising given the game's success, as the game currently has peaked out in the 24 hours of 21,995 players, and at the wee hours of the night, so in a really off time, currently sitting at 10,845, and an all-time peak happening right at its launch at 35,533 players. It's currently ranked number 12 in top sales with over 5,342 positive reviews and an all-time peak of 107,832 players. This game on Steam is currently selling for $44.99 with a deluxe edition at $74.99, and also has an additional DLC original soundtrack for $3.99. Within just the first 24 hours of Frostpunk 2, and just as the recording of this video, it has sold over 350,000 copies within 3 days of this game's release. Frostpunk 2 currently has an unknown budget. What's interesting is the fact that the development team actually would create something, play it, and change it and refine the mechanics as they go along, instead of looking at it as one big picture. They only work on little bits and pieces at a time throughout the game cycle in order to make sure everything was as perfect as they could be before moving to the next segment of building the game. The other thing that really helped 11-bit Studios was having a strong fan base and listening to what the fan base liked about the previous game and what they would want going forward into this sequel. Frostpunk 2 was a very ambitious game that took all these risks, and it seems to be paying off very, very well. Frostpunk 2 was directed by Jacob Stolowski and Lucas Juskowski. Sorry if I butchered those names. The designer was Lucasi, artist was Jacob. This is built in Unreal Engine 5.